everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Mommy Budgets, and I am Amanda. I am here today to do two things. Hopefully it's going to be really quick. We're going to go through my week 2 budget recap because it was so short. I decided not to do a separate video on that. We're going to do the week 2 budget recap and the week 3 budget projection. So we're gonna have to move and shake real fast so that we can try and keep this video to a respectable amount of time. So for those that are new here, welcome to my channel, and for those that are not new, welcome back. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, send this financial information on to those who may be interested, and also like this video. Okay, on this channel we talk about things like budgeting, finances, budgets in general. I'm going to get a little bit more into investing. I'm going to dive a little bit more into savings. I have my cozy chair conversations. I try to have them at least once a week, and I get to talk about whatever I want to during that time. But I am in my cozy chair, sitting in my bedroom and just kind of woo-sawing as I talk to the camera. But that's typically what goes on this channel. So enough about the channel. Let's dive right into this budget recap for week 2. So you should see popping up on the screen now is my write out for the week 2 budget recap. I'm going to be looking down because I do have the notes right here in front of me. So as you can see right there on the sheet, the week 2 budget recap goes from the following Friday, which is February the 10th, 2021, up until that upcoming Thursday, which would have been September the 16th, 2021 in this regard. So for those that are new, I get paid every single week. So I do a budget recap and a budget projection every single week because that is the way I like to handle my money. I like to look at it, feel it in some cases because I do take cash out, and just dive right in so that I can stay on top of my numbers. And plus I am a numbers nerd, so I just like doing that. So here we go. First item up on the sheet is $50 amount. And that was a bagging fee for airfare. I will be traveling soon, and so I have to pay $50 for the bag that I am going to stow. All right, that came from my travel fund. Next up is $72.98, which is the actual flight fee. That also came out of the travel fund. And actually this is let me explain. The $50 was the baggage fee. I've already purchased the flight, but I didn't purchase a bag or so that I can stow the bag up above me. I don't particularly care to do the bags where you put them underneath the plane and all that. So yeah, I didn't put that on the first flight. So that was in addition to the cost of the first flight, which I talked about in a previous recap video. And then the $72.98 is the return flight. Okay, next we have the $27.22, which was some stadium foods and drinks, and that money came out of my Bills checking account on last weekend. I enjoyed and treated myself to an NFL game in the area and enjoyed every single minute of it. So that is where that came from. And last but not least, I paid $1.42 at the local Office Depot to do some printing. That money also came out of my Bills checking account. So that's where we are with the recap. Not a whole lot going on. That's why I decided to put it on this video with the budget projection. Now, on your screen, you should see popping up in front of you my amortization schedule, because we're going to go over how much I paid on my mortgage for last week, or from last week's paycheck. All right, that's where we are. So that sheet that you see there on the screen now should show the previous balance of $90,251.22. That's where we left off. But from last week's pay, I was able to make a total of $616 directly toward the principal. Okay, so now on your screen, you should see the sheet that shows the new balance and how many lines I was able to highlight off. So now, as you can see, the new balance is $89,635.22. Guys, I am now in the 8s. I am moving along. My goal was to be in the 70,000 range by the end of the year. I know I have about, what, 3.5 more months. Yeah, so that means I will have to pay upwards of $10,000 between now and the end of the month. But we're going to stay optimistic. We're going to keep this going. Never know. I'm just going to keep putting money toward it and see where we get. Now, as you can see, I was able to highlight lines 65, 66, and 67. So that's, well, I'm not going to call it small amount because it may not be small to some, but that $616 that I paid directly toward the principal took off 3 more months off of the total amount of time that I am going to have to need to pay off this mortgage. So that's why I said, guys, any little amount will help you out tremendously when you are paying down debt, especially if it goes directly toward the principal and none of it goes toward your interest. So there you go. We're done with that. That's it for my recap. Let's move right along and dive right into our week 3 budget projection for today, Friday, September the 17th, 2021. There is the sheet popping up on your screen right now. Let's go right into these items. All right, first up on the docket is my homeowners association for $6.70. Next is the children's savings account for $28.50. Then we have the household expenses coming in at $194. The debt amount. This debt amount is the amount that I get to pay extra toward whatever debt I'm paying off at this time. Right now it is my mortgage. I only have 2 debts left in my life. It's my mortgage and the student loans. So I'm electing to pay toward the mortgage right now because the student loans are on hold. Whole nother story. Don't want to talk about that right now. But this is the route I'm choosing to take. I know there may be others that say, hey, leave your mortgage till last. Pay your mortgage last. Pay off your other debts first. That's not what I'm choosing to do here on this channel. Now, next is the daughter's college spending. I typically just send her a few dollars every week. That's $25. Next, we have the student loan for $100. Although I'm not paying it, I am still stocking away money. So when it's time to start back paying my student loans, I will have a nice little amount chunked away that I could throw right toward that interest that was accruing before they put it into the forbearance period. Next is life insurance coming in at $21. Auto insurance, $73. Mortgage, $268. And then the cushion amount for $26.15, which is what I like to leave in this account so that it just won't be left with nothing in it. This is my operational account, and this account is specifically for doing what I'm doing right here on this video, showing you how I pay my expenses every week. So that's really all. It's not a savings account or none of that. All of that is somewhere else in another account. So the total is $1,031.35 for this week. Now, I typically leave $1,228 in this account every week because that is how much it has, my expenses and debts have averaged over the months. So I leave that amount in there so that I can take care of the bills and expenses every single week. That works for me. So with leaving the $1,228 in there, I'm going to have to subtract that from my total amount of $1,031.35, which is this week's expenses. That equals $196.65, which that number gets a blue cloud because it has a relationship with another number on the page, as you can see, those two numbers that have the blue clouds. So that is the amount that I will be putting away in my bills savings account right here on paper. So that's not the last thing or the real thing that I'm gonna do with the money, but while we're going through these calculations, that money is slated to go into the bill savings account, okay? Next, step number 2 is I go back up through these expenses, put a pink circle PA around the items that I will be putting away in the bills savings account this week, because I'm not paying them this week. They are due in another week of the month. So as you can see, it's the HOA, it's the student loans, it's the life insurance, and it's that mortgage amount, okay? So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is to add up all of those put away amounts. So if we go back down, we'll see the pink circle PA is equal to $395.70. That is the total amount of put away money that I need to do for this week. Now, as I said previously, there are 2 numbers with blue clouds around them. That means that they have a relationship. The actions are similar. So as you can see, the first number with the blue cloud is an amount that I have to put away. And also the $395.70 is an amount that I need to put away. So let's go right below that line, and you can see where I add those 2 numbers together. That's $395.70 plus the $196.65 equals $592.35. That is the amount that I need to put away in the bills savings account right here on paper, because we're not done. Step number 4, go back up through these expenses. You see a purple triangle. These are items that I will be taking care of this week. So now we see the children's savings, the household expenses. That is money that I pull out physically out of the bank to have in my wallet for things like food, blow money, eating out, hair supplies, haircuts, dog supplies, dog food, toiletries, tissue, deodorant, shampoo, all that stuff that you need, to kind of run your household throughout the week. That's the money I pull out, because I don't care to just continue to be swiping my card. Oh yeah, also an auto gas. So all those items that you kind of use regularly on a weekly basis, I prefer to use cash to do that throughout the week. All right. So these are all the items that you see with the purple triangle. Those are items I'm taking care of. Also, the cushion amount, I put a purple triangle beside it. Although that money sits in the account, it still is an action per se that takes place this week, because that money does physically just sit there in the account unless I use it for something. All right, now also, we have the debt amount for $289 that I will be paying this week. And like I said, I am focused on my mortgage. So although I know you see 2, I'm going to pay that debt amount on the mortgage. However, you do see a line item for mortgage. That $268 is the amount I put away each week for the monthly payment, the regular monthly payment. There is a monthly payment for your mortgage every month. Typically do somewhere between the 1st and the 15th of the month. So that's what the $268 is. I, stock that away until I pay my mortgage. My mortgage payment, I pay on the 2nd Friday of every month. So that's why that $268 is set aside, and it builds up to the $803, I think my monthly payment is, and then I send them that payment. Okay, so the $289 that I will be paying this week is just another principal only payment. So I'm always excited about my principal only payments to my mortgage. So that's where you see the debt dollar amount. I know it can get confusing because, people can say, hey, it's just mortgage payment money. No, it's not. You have to keep them separated. And that's why I explained it the way that I just did. Now, as you can see by the auto insurance, that is an amount that's being paid this week as well. However, I only set aside $73 out of this week's pay to help out with paying that amount. But if you go across the line, you will see that the actual amount of my auto insurance for the month is $278. They did decrease it a little bit because my daughter is not driving her vehicle right now. And I guess they just put the vehicle in the pleasure column. So they were able to decrease my payment, I think, by like $14 or something for the month. But yeah, so it's $278. However, I'm only setting aside $73. So I'm going to have to subtract that $73 from the $278 total. That equals $205. That $205 is what I'm going to have to pull out of the bill savings account to help me pay that auto insurance for this week. So now that's why you can see the cycle that's going on. That's why you see me put monies away some weeks in the bill savings account, and you see me pull money out some weeks. This is why. So now that number gets a yellow line under it because it's saying pull out of bill savings account right here on paper. All right. There's also another number. If you look down to the next to the last line on this sheet, you see another number with a yellow line under it. And those two numbers have a relationship as well. So you have one number that needs to be put away in the bill savings account, and you have one total that needs to be pulled out. So we're going to have to subtract those two numbers. Those are two different actions. So look at the very last line of the sheet, and let's bring this on home. All right, $592.35 minus the $205 give us a whopping total of $387.35. That number gets a full box around it because that is actually what I'm going to do with monies this week. And that total I will be putting away in the bills savings account this week. Okay? That's it. That is really probably what people would consider to be a lot, but it's really not, because you need to budget your money out to the penny every single week. And if you have this many expenses, it may take that long. You may not have this many expenses. You may be a college student just getting out of college, just got that big old first fat job with the large pay, and you may only have, hopefully you only have some rent and some health insurance and food and transportation. You know, your necessity. You don't have a whole lot of other stuff right now. So, you know, your budget projection videos may not take this long, as well as your budget recap. But, you know, with me being in the game, 3 teenagers later, been working well over 20 years, hey, I got a lot of expenses. I've acquired a lot of stuff. So that's kind of where it is. But I am in the process of trying to minimize this list. Actually, not trying. I am going to minimize this list. But there you have it, guys. That's it. That is how I do my budget projections every single week. Even if I do not come on this camera, these numbers are written down in this tablet every single week. As you can see, it is a 5-subject tablet. I think this is probably like tablet number 4 or 5, but as you can see, if we go back through, we see all the recaps, and that's what I've been doing here in this tablet. So yeah, I am an old-fashioned pen and paper girl, and that's how I love to do it. But this is all I have for this video. We are going to end it right here. Hope you have a fabulous weekend, because I plan to do that. And this is Dr. Mommy Budgets, where we dream big but start small around here. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.